Let's do it live on a Monday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Beau. He is the great Z. How you doing, buddy?
Doing fine. Sick of the rain. Ready for it to go.
Yeah.
Watching the Masters makes me just want to play small ball, get the ball in the air so much, so badly.
Not anytime soon, brother.
Maybe tomorrow, but I mean, it's going to be the ball's going to go subterranean on every shot. I mean, it's going to be a muddy mess. But enjoyed watching the Masters. Did not have the drama that I think a lot of people hoped for, although it did early in the final round. But Scheffler's just what a stud.
I'll be honest with you, I think it largely sucked.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because he just was too dominant?
There was never anybody in the mix.
Like there was never number 3.
For a
it was
minute.
about to be tied.
I was at AAU early in the afternoon, so I didn't see it till the back 9.
All right.
But, I mean, I thought that from what I saw, the most dramatic things were his 18th on Saturday, where he hit into the bush. And I thought, okay, this could get interesting. We'd have Cam Smith within a shot or two. That'd be fun to have a little something. And then he 4-putted 18. And I thought, my God, is he going to, is this going to be a 6-putt? Like, what is going on here, dude? Like, you missed 2-footers. But other than that, it was just so robotic. And then I just think, I mean, I know you're pure joy, but I think golf's got a really big problem for people who don't love golf, because there is nobody who moves the needle. This whole entire weekend is about Tiger Woods.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
the whole weekend. It's a 46-year-old dude on a leg and a half.
Yeah.
And he was all that mattered. Scheffler was great. I mean, he's great, and he wins easy. There's no drama in that. That's not his fault.
Hold on, just so you know.
By the way.
Because you missed this. You were at
I did.
At AAU. So Cam Smith birdies 1 and 2. Okay? So it is now it's a 2-shot lead on the tee box on 3. Scheffler hits it way left, like off the reservation left. Okay? They give him relief, but it's looking like bogey is for sure in play for him. Cam Smith's got like a 50-yard chip to the green. He hit a bomb. So you're thinking, like, oh, my God, this guy could go birdie, birdie, birdie. Could be tied after 3, and then all the pressure's on. So Scheffler hits first, punches it out of the pine straw. He actually could have hit it on the green. Got a drop because the scoreboard was actually in his way, which saved him, gave him a line. Hits it short. So he's got now a big pitch up the hill to the hole. Cam Smith now, you're thinking, all right, dude, hit it close. You're making birdie. It could be tied. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah.
He hits it fat, chunks it on the hill, top of the green, rolls back down. So now their balls are side by side. Literally, they've come and collected like an inch from each other, maybe a foot. Scheffler goes first. He's got to chip it up a steep face of a hill to the pin that's right there. Scheffler makes it.
Yeah.
Makes it. So 2 seconds ago, you're thinking Smith's for sure picking up a shot on this hole.
Right.
Maybe 2. And then Scheffler dunks it. That freaks Smith out. He bogeys, and then that was it. But then he got it close again on 11, and then he hit it in the water on 12, and then that was it.
Well, close, but he was still 3 shots back.
Couple shots back.
3 or 4. I mean, it was just.
Scheffler's a machine, dude.
He's really good.
He's really good.
He's not particularly interesting. That's not his fault. Not his fault at all. The people that were making charge, like, Rory shoots 64, do it in round 1, dude, so that we can have a little fun with this thing.
Sure, sure.
And I think maybe that, he to me is kind of the personification of the struggle in golf in the non-golf fan, because he was somebody who burst on the scene, and Spieth is another one of these.
He's fallen off.
And they just have fallen off. And, he shoots 64 because that's his talent at Augusta. But the pressure of it doesn't allow for him to do it early. He cannot do it in the first round of these tournaments. And so to shoot 64 on the last day, it's great. But, Scheffler was never going to come that far back. He was never going to come that far back. So it was the drama of it was out. You're right. I missed that specific hole where
one moment there was some tension.
That was the moment, but it wasn't, it wasn't. It happened so early in the round that you missed it. So it doesn't take away from his brilliance, for sure.
No, it was dominant.
It was dominant, but it was. I also think that there is something that has happened to a group of these super duper stars where I don't know if they just lack drive or I don't know what it is.
Did you see the airport?
But it was just.
Did you see the airport? There's 50 private jets.
Right. There's so much money, and maybe that is, maybe that's been the ultimate motivator. I don't know what it is, but you just don't see the drive to stay great. Do I think Scheffler's going to be some 7-time major winner? No, I don't. I'm sure this will be similar. He'll win a couple here in a row, win a couple, and then he'll go away like the rest.
And there's a lot of very, very good players too. I just think
there aren't that many that are interesting.
Fair.
I mean, it's So I enjoy it because I like the Masters, and I love major golf. But I think unless you're a diehard golf fan, Cam Smith and Scotty Scheffler in the final pairing, that ain't ideal.
No,
that ain't it.
No,
so,
but
the course is great, and it all sorts
beautiful.
of weather conditions. And,
yeah,
the fact that Tiger was able to play, make a cut, crazy.
I'm surprised he finished. I respect.
I
the
thought
heck
he would
out
shut
of
it down
but I thought
Saturday.
He'd shut it down. Yeah.
I thought he would withdraw Saturday. I did. I'm with you. I thought when Amanda Balianis or whatever her name is, she interviewed him, and he was talking. He was like, if I could get, if I could shoot 6 under, I could get it back to even. Like, she's like, what is your goal for Sunday? And he was like still trying to talk himself into that, which was just really stunning. Like his competitive spirit for him with his wealth.
It's a real triumph of
to go out there and
spirit.
try and.
Yeah,
he's got nothing to prove, but I tell you, don't you think for him, like this is kind of his future. Like he can play some of these match play things, and then he can play like the Masters every year. I'm sure he'll play it every year. Like this year, he's playing the Open. That makes sense. Like there will be Open courses that fit his eye, that he'll like. Probably he'll pick and choose some PGAs, US, but that's probably the path.
I think he just wants to win one more time. And every
major
event he
tournament,
plays in will
anything?
be a big anything. I think he wants to win one more time.
Well, his is the Invitational, right, where he's got that small field. Remember he did that? You see that one in the Bahamas where he would do that one with the small field, and he won that once. But now he does the one in LA. Like he's bounced around.
I think he wants to win like a real fielded event.
If I were to tell you it is more likely or not that he wins a major or doesn't, what do you think? Not, but is it? Do you have to question?
Yeah, of course, because it was not before he won in 19, which was absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. He said something after the round on Sunday how he has to kind of reteach himself how to play the game with his current physical conditions. Like he can't hit it where he used to. He can still win. There's just got to be a different way about it.
Yes.
And you think about how many times, and someone who plays as much and as well as you do, you think about how many times he's had to make his game or his swing or his style over the course of a career.
Well, the first time he did it was in the midst of like the
greatest
run of golf ever, and he's like, "Yeah, my swing's not good enough. I gotta
redo this." Come again?
Huh?
Then he ended up. And then he did the Tiger Slam again.
Right.
So he did, he pulled it off. So, but it's gorgeous to look at it there. Beautiful.
It is. I enjoyed it. I had it on in the background, over the weekend, and you're right. It lacked the drama down the stretch, and I think it was funny that at the end Scheffler just wanted to, I think, finish it, and he putzed around those two putts because I think he just wanted.
Did you think like, my God, is he going to miss another one?
No.
When he missed the second one, I was like, whoa.
I just think he couldn't believe he knew it was to win. He just wanted
right. But it's like he missed two 2-footers.
It was stunning, and he had missed. He wasn't missing anything.
Right. Yeah.
His short game is so good, and I think that's what people don't realize how good these guys are around the greens. It's unbelievable, and Scheffler's wizardry is incredible to watch. It really is. They were even comparing him to Seve Ballesteros, and people were saying they don't realize just how good he was with his hands. And I like his swing; it looks so athletic. It's very unique.
He really
leg
comes
action
way over too.
Yeah,
it's really,
and he hits that little cut, little fade.
Yeah.
I like him. he did something that only Tiger Woods has done, right? Win 4 and a major championship. I retweeted that one, but he did something that only Tiger's done. What he's done so far this year,
have
which is
4 wins and be number 1 in the world and win the Masters.
Yeah.
By the time of right. A lot of people credit it to what he did. He beat Rahm in the Ryder Cup, and that kind of started the momentum for him. Buddy of mine got him at 28-1 before this thing started. Showed me the receipt. I said, what house was offering 21-1 and then 28-1 of the number 1 player in the world?
Golf's hard like that, but the biggest bet I saw the biggest bet that was placed, individual bet that was placed on him was 50, that netted $800K. So it was down, significantly down from what you're talking about. That's 16-1.
Yeah. My buddy's $100, so it's not, we didn't get rich, but still
pretty good.
Did well. Yeah. Did very, very well. Nick Harris will join us here momentarily on the program. I do think that I wanted to bring attention and pay homage and respect to Dwayne Haskins and his family off the start of the show. I think that he is, and we'll have more on this a little bit later, but I don't think that it is an exaggeration or hyperbolic to say that his one season at Ohio State is as important as any one season ever in the history of that program. I think it allows for Ryan Day to be the coach at Ohio State. I think it allowed for Justin Fields. I think it allowed for C.J. Stroud. I think it allowed for the transition from a but a run-first offense where the quarterback stuck their nose in to a wide-open pass attack. Dwayne Haskins set the Ohio State single-season record for passing yardage with 48-31, I believe.
He threw for like 50 touchdowns,
The
right?
previous record was 3,300. He beat it by 1,500 yards. He threw for 50 touchdowns in 2018. The previous record was 35. He lapped the field. He overcame the first 3 games of that season. Urban Meyer was suspended. Nick Bosa left the team with an injury. Much of that is forgotten because of his brilliance. He was a Heisman finalist. And more than that, he was an incredible ambassador for the program. He had this easy smile. He was an easy kid to talk to. He had this ability to be confident but not cocky, to be self-assured but likable. That's a tough tightrope to walk, and he did it. And when I heard the news Saturday, it just gutted for it. And our thoughts certainly with the family, and certainly collective Buckeye Nation, where he was beloved. And I know S. Buckeye shared some stories with you, S did, and in terms of how Dwayne was with kids and those type of things. I think the best testament you can have of a man is what his teammates say about him. And, buddy, whether it was our guy Case Keenum tweeting out a picture of Dwayne holding his son when they were with the Washington football team at the time, the comments you've seen from the Pittsburgh community and those players, and, of course, from the Ohio State community, but whether it was Cam Hayward or T.J. Watt or Ben Roethlisberger, the impact he had and the way that he carried himself was something that was felt by all of his teammates. They were working out in Miami. It was Claypool and Najee Harris and all of those guys. And, Dwayne, there's a picture Joe Hayden put out of him and Dwayne embracing.
Yeah.
Dwayne wasn't the starter. He was third on the depth chart.
He was active for 1 game.
And he had that type of impact. Speaks to the type of person he was.
He was clearly a beloved guy, and yeah, those tragedies. It's just when you read that and you think about somebody who was 24, married, son, husband, friend, all of that, and just cut so short. And unfortunately, some of the very worst of the information age that we live in was presented in the immediate aftermath, and took away, I think, from what has become, I think, a beautiful celebration of his life. And I know we're going to have Brooke Pryor on, right?
Yeah, she'll from the Pittsburgh side of things.
They did an unbelievable thing on. I watched a ton of his stuff because I wasn't the Buckeye person that you are, certainly that S was, and I watched the segments from when he was a little kid. And he goes, "I'm going to go to college here," and the feature on him and his sister, and the feature that ESPN put out over the weekend that I think was narrated by Brooke, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Which was just beautiful, and Joe Hayden retweeted that as well and said that was a great job by Brooke. So, yeah, it's just sad. I mean, it's sad. We live in a world with so much tragedy. I got involved with a charity. Actually, I'm going on the board of this charity at the end of last week, believe it or not, called Cornerstone of Hope, and it's for sudden death grief situations like this, to provide support to the parents and to the sister and everybody who's just lost somebody that was not expected to be lost. And you just think about all the things that happen in this world, and how many, we don't even realize how many people are impacted by this. This is a public figure, so it becomes much more known, but these types of things happen all the time, and it's just so sad. The human condition, your heart breaks for everybody who knew him and loved him, because it is, and I don't know if, I'm sure at our age now, you've had friends who passed. I had a friend in college who passed away in an accident, and just like the grief that the families feel is unfathomable. And my heart breaks for everybody. Yeah,
it's just so tragic, tragic. And so he was a special kid on the field, special kid off the field, and a remarkable legacy by the time is all is said and done. There's so many what ifs that if he wouldn't have been in that spot, and unfortunately just a comet and shine bright and gone too soon. Nick Harris will join the program today. As Z mentioned, Brooke Pryor will join us as well on Dwayne and some of that. We did have some news at the end of last week in terms of our roster, so we will get to that as the program goes along. Take a look at a 4-round mock draft coming as well in the second hour of the program. We are off and running here on a Monday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. OBM, Ohio Business Machine, preferred copier provider, your Cleveland Browns. They have all the X's and O's for your office. Call 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. Joined now by a native of Los Angeles, Browns center Nick Harris. I say that because it's been a long time since we were able to have players in here. And the last native LAan that was in here was probably Mr. Dogg. Snoop Dogg was in here with us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
oh.
the.
Yeah.
Oh, the Snoop Dogg.
This was pre-pandemic, Nick. He was in here, and
We've had a lot of big people in here.
Addressed him as Mr. Dogg, and we had a great talk about things. So you're in great LA company here, buddy, with the icon.
I don't know how I'm gonna back that up.
No, you'll be fine. You're gonna be fine, buddy. And you came in here with you got a little of your own side. What's the story here behind this bottle we got?
Yeah, Jack Conklin apparently has the a good taste for hot sauces, and he gifted me this Bajan pepper sauce from Barbados. So We'll see how it.
Gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that out. I don't know.
Now, where are you going to put this on? What's the first thing it goes on? Is it an eggs?
It has to be eggs. Yeah, I feel like
it's
not for me.
And you love the hot sauce, but anti-egg.
Anti-egg.
You hate to say it.
That's right. So my mind would have gone to like on a fish.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
fish
something
like
that.
With that.
Yeah,
I
for
could
sure.
see that even on a pork chop, to be honest.
For sure.
Yeah.
Nice grouper, maybe.
Oh yeah, sure.
I think that might work. Nick, how you been, man? How's you been? Z. So, truth be told, for many weeks, Z is like, I see Nick all the time.
Yeah, like let's get him on the show.
We see him all the time. Bring him up. It's not a far walk. So you've been here. You've been working, man. That's what the off season has been.
Yep, the whole time. Just been in Cleveland, in the facility every day, just working with Evan Marcus and all those strength guys down there, just trying to get right, just trying to, get ready for, the season and OTAs and all that stuff. But no, it's been good. I'm glad. This is like my speed. Like I love this time of the year, just lifting weights and just being a meathead. So like, it's been good. It's been real good. But I did take a little trip for 10, 12 days and came back, got right back into the groove. So it's been good. It's been real good.
That's awesome.
Well, yeah. Not only have I seen him, I just see him in the weight room all the time, throwing around heavy weights. I'm in there trying to get myself, get myself in shape. You're in there going bonkers. What's kind of been the focus of what you're doing? Because we have a great strength team, and Evan Marcus, he got my Romanian deadlift form right, which is good, prevent me from getting hurt. But what are you guys doing in there? Because you guys are getting after it hard.
Yeah, no, I mean we're doing a little bit of everything, but I think my main focus was, putting on good muscle mass, and just making sure I'm just continuing strength, just trying to get as strong as possibly can.
And are you seeing the gains?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, it's been good. My numbers have gone up a lot, substantially actually. I even do stuff. I'm like, I didn't even know I could do that now, but hey, I guess it's working. So, and then just keeping my weight up, trying to get my nutrition right. Timing my meals and eating what the necessary calories to replace all that work that gets done in the morning. So, we've had a good plan going. And a lot of just core work, that core stability work, especially at that position is key, dealing with those big guys in there. So, it's been good. It's been real good. And I'm reaping the benefits. So we just got to keep it going really until football stuff starts. But
I remember when we drafted you, and, Z has pretty good ear for what's going on in the building. And we were on the air talking, and Z goes, they really like Nick Harris. They really like Nick.
It's true.
And that's, I'll never forget that. And so the way that you're felt about in the building, but this is part of the deal too. You have to bide your time, and you've had to come in. You filled in admirably, and now it appears like your moment is here now a little bit. How tough was it not playing all the time for someone who played all the time?
Right.
And how excited are you for an opportunity that now could present?
Honestly, it was a good learning, process with not playing immediately, especially playing behind somebody like JC who does it so consistently in the way he goes about the mental side of the game, and how he plays the game. He plays the game at a tremendous level. I think he was a good person to learn behind. So I had no negative feelings towards it. I honestly enjoyed it because I got to get the swing of the NFL's life, NFL schedule. I got to learn my body, how I respond to certain things, whether that's recovery-wise, whether that's, in the weight room. I learned a lot about, just football in general, especially with Coach Callahan and being behind JC. You see how they talk in meetings and the vernacular they use to explain certain things, and that stuff that I wasn't, made aware of just how they explain the game from that position. So I learned a lot in that aspect. But no, I didn't take it as a negative at all. No, honestly, just being here, just having an opportunity to play in the league is, a blessing in itself, So, I mean, it was, obviously there's times you're like, damn, like I wish I was in there right now. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you this is part of the process, part of the journey. You just, learn. And then when you get your opportunity now, it's time to go. And I feel like this is a perfect time for me to, let it loose now. So That's why I've been here the whole time trying to get ready. But no, it's been great so far. It's been great, and we got a good room of guys that I can learn from. And we got Joel, Jack, all those dudes, Wyatt. There's all something from every one of them that I can learn from. So I try and pull things from each of them, and it's been a good experience so far for sure.
Yeah, you got all pros all around you. One
Yeah,
year left,
exactly,
one at right tackle,
exactly,
all pro.
Exactly.
So you go from being back-to-back all Pac-12 center. I think one of the reasons I remember, and I might not have this exactly right, so I apologize, but I think you allowed like one pressure in 2 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe 0, 1 or 2 somewhere, but
something
not
like
a lot.
that.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
So you go from that, you get to learn, and JC's an Ironman. JC didn't miss a snap in his
Right.
entire career
Crazy.
here, except for one game.
Right.
And it was Christmas against Green Bay. Turns out to be a very big game.
Right.
And did you go into that and think, okay, this is my opportunity to show them everything I've learned in 2 years? You did not allow a pressure. We ran for, I want to say, 9 yards in that game. We pulled you from center a couple of times on some big runs. What did that game mean to you, and what was kind of the immediate feedback you got from that game?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't learn that I was, I was starting until Friday. Well, I guess we played Saturday, so that was Thursday. Yeah, 2 days before. But I mean, I felt prepared. That's the big thing. There was no panic, because I take a lot of reps in practice, and I've been here for 2 years. There was like, all right, well, I mean, it's time now. Like,
and you got all those training camp reps
exactly.
your rookie year, and you got a lot second year as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it might even, throughout the year and stuff.
In
so,
practice,
you get a lot of reps. So, it was more like I was just ready. Like, I'm like, all right, well, then let's do it, But I mean, that's just a testament to, Coach Callahan and Coach Peters and stuff, and how we prepare at practice, and, how we prepare in the O-line room. So, I was excited. I didn't tell anybody. I think the only person I told was my mom, just so she was like, why did you tell me? But I didn't tell none of my friends, nothing, because I just wanted to act like I've been there before. I just wanted to portray myself as a professional and go out there and just do my job, and then carry on, whether carry on however the game turned out. I just wanted to perform, and that's that was the key.
Did it give you a lot of confidence the way that you did perform?
Oh, 100%. I'd be lying if I said it didn't. But there was definitely a moment where in the game where I was like, okay, like I'm supposed to be here, and because obviously when you're not playing for the first 2 years, you're just I don't like this is these guys,
and you only play guard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So when I got in that center, I just felt comfortable. Like I was like, oh, this is, I like this. You know what I'm saying? I was excited, and obviously, unfortunately, we didn't win the game, but I learned a lot just about how how I processed the game speed at that position. I learned just how to be even on the sideline, having those conversations with Bill after drives, how that goes, and being able to talk about what I see out there, because when you're not playing, you hear the discussions, but once you're playing, you're sitting down on the sideline. He's like, all right, what do you like? Or, how's everything going? And he looks to give you trouble. It felt good to be in it. It felt good to be, a part of that, So, it was a great experience, and I'm glad I got the opportunity. But yeah, it just made me more excited. Like
I want to do that again.
Yeah, exactly.
Has it your experience? I'm listening to you, and you think about JC, and you've mentioned Bill. Of course, and Joel and Wyatt. It's kind of a little bit like a grad school master class in offensive line play.
100%.
What you've been exposed to the last couple of years.
100%. And that's why I was saying I have no negatives about it, because all I gained was knowledge. I gained, practice reps with those guys, learning, hear them, how they do things, how they talk, how they even off the field, how they recover, what they do in their off time to keep their mind, stimulated, but yet rested from football and stuff. You learn all those things from the behind the scenes. So exactly. I mean, it is a master class.
Yeah.
You got the best of everybody out there. So, I learned a lot for sure.
You're behind JC, and JC's NFLPA president. He's, I think, one of the most underrated centers in the league, in the fact that he deserves Pro Bowls and All-Pro recognition.
100%.
I think. So you learn behind him, and then you get this is not all an understanding of the business of it, right? That he's played tremendous football, but now you were drafted for this moment, and you showed him in Green Bay that you could handle this. Did he say anything to you on his way out? Because I'm sure he's very proud of you. He understands how it all works, and he's proud that you're probably getting this opportunity.
Yeah. He reached out to me and, just told me, enjoy it, and if I ever needed anything, let him know. And that means a lot, because obviously anybody could take how this goes any way they want to. But, just hearing him say that, and he showed me that, he knew how he helped me. And we understood our relationship, like even out on the practice field, him just helping me with stuff. Like he understood, he knows how it works. I mean, he's a consummate pro, so he understood. And, it felt good for him to just be like, hey, if you ever need anything, you reach out, and that means a lot, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, he's, like you said, I think he 100% is one of the more underrated players at that position, without a doubt. I think just the fact that he plays all the time, like he doesn't miss time, and you never hear his name. So like that's a good thing, especially at that position. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely bittersweet, because I did learn a lot from him, and he was a good dude out there, just teaching me things and showing me little tricks, and he's a funny dude too. Like his humor, we just had good times. So it's like it was bittersweet, but like you said, I mean, it is the business, unfortunately. So yeah.
I think you guys have a great room.
Yeah.
Anytime we get you, I mean, that offensive line group, it's good personnel. How's the shuffleboard game for you? I mean, I know that's something Joel is on it down there. You been getting that worked out?
No, I haven't. But I used to play a little bit at Washington. We had one upstairs. I used to play a little bit. I wasn't very good, though. So I need to brush up on that.
It's a high standard.
You got to find a good partner.
I know.
Yeah, you scout the partner. It's
right.
important part of the center. You got to be cerebral out there. Scout the partner.
right.
And then get it out there. So kind of take us through, we're about to get into the OTAs and all of that. Kind of what's your mindset? What's your game plan here for the next couple of months before we actually get to take the field and get into the first where you actually get to have an OTA, organized team activity out there?
Right. No, I think the main thing is just, getting everybody back in here, everybody around each other, just building relationships, but at the same time, coming here to work, I think is the most important part. I think personally, continue what I'm doing in the weight room, because obviously that's a huge part of that this part of the program. So just continue growing in there, continue getting my body right, and then once we get meetings and stuff started, locking in on the playbook and being able to get back out on the field with the coaches and stuff. So that should be good. But I think it's a good time for everybody just to gel, everybody just to get back into it. Everybody gets in here, they're all excited and stuff. So anyway, they can say whatever they want, but once you get here, see all the boys and everything, you're proud to be here.
Yeah, you're gonna be fired up. And now one of the most important relationships on the field is the center quarterback relationship, and so that's gonna be an opportunity for you to talk to Deshaun, and we got Jacoby and Josh Dobbs coming in as well to kind of build those relationships.
Right.
That's something you're looking forward to, and kind of getting that going.
Right. Yeah, 100%. I think when, the center and the quarterback, like you said, it's a crucial relationship, because you have to be able to see everything the same when it comes to like a protection aspect point. When it comes to, just how the game is going, I think it is very important. So yeah, I mean, this time will be huge for that. Just being out there on the field and just snapping, just that alone can go a long way. So I think it'll be definitely beneficial. For sure.
A little bit of talent on this offense.
Nah, yeah. 100%. Not too bad.
It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right, buddy. Hey, how was you mentioned you went on a 12-day trip. Where'd you go? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah. Me and my girlfriend went to Italy. And we went to Rome, went to Naples for a little bit, went to Pompeii.
Pompeii's pretty wild, isn't it?
It's insane. It blew my mind away. It's hard to like digest, because you're sitting there like, this place was here 2,000 years ago.
The people are still like,
yeah, exactly. Like there's still people. Like there's still remains.
You've never been?
No.
They have some of the people are like
insane.
preserved in the
there's
volcanic
remains
ash,
and stuff.
like where they're like you can see them bracing
Come
themselves.
on.
And it's still 100%.
Yeah.
them.
Wow.
It's insane. It's hard to register when you're there.
Vesuvius, man.
Yeah.
It's right
Well,
there.
yeah, I know the history, but I didn't realize that there were still like
A lot of the
So
the town got like leveled, but you can walk around through, and there's still some like walls that are preserved, and a lot of it is preserved kind of in the volcanic ash, so you can see how it like exactly as it hit it at that moment, and then it dries and for your cools, and then that's how it is. So there are there are people like
Wow.
yeah. No, it was dope though. I mean, the food was great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. We
Was
ate
there
so
a meal
good.
or a wine that stood out? A combination that stood out?
Ooh.
Did you go to Florence at all?
Man. No, we didn't.
Oh, you gotta get
we
back.
did.
Gotta go
I
to
know.
Tuscany,
I
man.
know. I
Got
know.
to.
I know. That's the plan next time we go is to go that way. We just ran out of time, but. I mean, I don't know. Meal wise, I mean, everything was good. Everything was good. Like all the pastas were amazing because it's all different every time you go. You get a different style every time. So it's like, this one was good. Damn, this one was better.
That's
Like,
fantastic.
yeah, it was a good time though.
Pretty good place.
Can we make Nick an official friend of the show?
I think
can
so.
This be,
I think
this guy's got too much charisma not to be in here.
I think it's
on
happened.
the reg. I think that needs to happen.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate your time, man.
Yeah,
Keep your
no
work.
doubt.
It's good seeing you. Finally meeting you in person. We talked to you before, but to meet you in person was great. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
All right, that's Nick Harris, our fantastic center, joining us here on Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Beau here for Char Whiskey Bar and Grill in Rocky River. Enjoy over 300 whiskeys and craft cocktails paired with made-from-scratch menu items. Char will also be coming out with a new spring menu in a couple of weeks. New items for the brunch and main menus. Support local. Visit Char Whiskey Bar and Grill at Rocky River or charrockyriver.com for more. For a little perspective on the tragedy over the weekend with Dwayne Haskins, we head to Pittsburgh. Our great friend Brooke Pryor of ESPN joining us. And Brooke, I covered Dwayne very closely at Ohio State and knew him all the way back to his recruitment and his early years at Ohio State, and certainly familiar with that side of it. But I think one of the things that was really remarkable over the weekend was to see the outpouring from his Steelers teammates, and I think sometimes that's the best reflection of who you are as a person. What did you see from Dwayne in Pittsburgh and through his own teammates?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The things that we saw on Twitter over the weekend it's just a snapshot of the brief times that I got to see him in Pittsburgh. You know, during COVID, we weren't allowed in the locker room. We didn't get to spend a lot of one-on-one time with the players. But in seeing his teammates' testimony over the weekend, just about his smile and about his easygoing nature, I mean, the fact that he was down in Florida for a team bonding weekend at an event that was organized by another quarterback, to me, that speaks volumes that he was included in that. He's someone that, when he got to Pittsburgh, he wanted to be a good teammate. He talked about that frequently, and then he followed through with those actions. Just really friendly with a lot of guys, was always around the facility. I mean, he popped into Pitt's Pro Day a couple weeks ago just to check in and see how Kenny Pickett was doing because he trained with him a little bit. But this is a guy that was always around the organization, the facility. He was on the Steelers cruise in March. Just really... in Mike Tomlin's statement, he said that when Dwayne got to Pittsburgh, he became a part of the family really quickly, and that was clear just by everything that everyone said this weekend.
Yeah, it was overwhelming, and Beau made the point earlier that, you know, typically for a third-string quarterback, you don't hear that much, and that the relationships might not really extend beyond, you know, the quarterback room or even the offense of the people that he works with on the scout team. But to have kind of the relationships that felt like he had, certainly with his time there in Pittsburgh, and it's well documented what he meant to Ohio State, that it's powerful. I mean, it's such a sad tragedy, but he had a powerful impact, it feels like, in the city of Pittsburgh and on that football team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to me, it also speaks volumes just how frequently he was involved in the community events. I mean, when you come in and you're in Dwayne Haskins' shoes, you know, you don't know if you're going to get your career fully restarted in Pittsburgh, if you're ever going to be the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, he could come here and he could have moped that he was number 3, that he didn't even beat Mason Rudolph for the number 2 job. Instead, he was just a very visible Steeler. He was at a distribution for back-to-school goods for kids, backpacks and school supplies. And then he participated in the Project Bundle Up, taking school kids out shopping at Dick's Sporting Goods for coats and gloves and hats and everything. And then to me, one of the things that sticks out the most that I wrote about today was he went into 2 local schools just a month ago in the off-season, a time when a lot of guys aren't around, so they're not doing the community events. But Dwayne Haskins was in Pittsburgh. He went to 2 different schools and read books to both of the schools, different classes. And I heard from a principal of one that he extended his visit, went into an 8th grade classroom where they were learning algebra, and he got up on the board and was diagramming out some problems and was helping them learn some of the concepts. I mean, this is a guy that was going above and beyond in the community because that's how invested he was here. He didn't take a backseat or kind of shy away from the spotlight. I think that he, in a lot of ways, probably appreciated the pressure of the organization being off of him so he could really focus on himself and doing what he valued and what was important to him, and that was being in the community and helping others and being a positive impact.
Talking with our great friend Brooke Pryor from ESPN, who covers the Steelers on the tragic loss of Dwayne Haskins over the weekend, the former Ohio State great and current Steelers quarterback. You know, Brooke, it's interesting you talk about that. I remember his press conference in Pittsburgh where he talked openly about the understanding that he needed to change some of his habits in terms of how he prepared and those type of things, and it felt like the perfect match really for him. And hearing you talk about what he was doing on the field and especially off kind of leads you to believe that hit, that he realized the opportunity that was here for him, and at least was going to do everything in his power to put his best foot forward to be what, I think a lot of people thought he would be when he was drafted. It seems like he checked those boxes in his brief time in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in talking with him at training camp, I remember him saying that he finally felt like he was comfortable in his own skin. He said, from the person he was when he got to Pittsburgh to who he is now, he felt like he was growing into who he wanted to be. And that was really powerful to me, that he felt like he was finally maybe at ease in Pittsburgh, because in a lot of ways the fit in Washington wasn't right. He was never able to truly be himself, trying to please too many people not happy with him, with drafting him, all of that. He got a fresh start in Pittsburgh where he could just focus on himself. And he talked about, wanting to mature. He's like, it's easy to be a kid. It's easy to go back into doing the things that kids do, but you have to work at being an adult and being someone that your teammates can respect. And he talked about going around the building and making sure he knew the coaches, the scouts, the weight room staff, just auxiliary people around the building, and doing things like eating lunch with different teammates that he didn't know very well, because he said, to be a quarterback, you have to be a leader and your teammates have to buy into you, and I want to earn that respect. So it felt like he was doing all of those little things. And then on the field, I actually talked with quarterbacks coach Mike Sullivan about it during the season, because it's hard to get a measuring stick for where he is because you're not seeing him on Sundays. But he said, Dwayne is paying attention to all of the little details. He's going through everything during practice. He said he's in my hip pocket. So just all around the building, they felt like he was on the right track to being what he wanted to being a good person, a good quarterback, a good teammate. And that's just what makes it so tragic and so heartbreaking.
Yeah, and it's you try to put these things into perspective, but again, I think when you hear that, it at least it warms you certainly that he was doing all of the things right. And then when I see the stuff that his teammates said about him, I mean, that really, especially the Pittsburgh stuff. I mean, we had Case Keenum, our backup here, tweeted out a picture last couple of years, tweeted out a picture of Dwayne holding his newborn child and biggest smile on his face, like just a warm kid to the soul, and lost way too soon. Brooke, we thank you so much for your time and perspective on the Pittsburgh side of things, and our thoughts certainly with all those over there that are feeling the loss of this.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Brooke Pryor, ESPN. It's unspeakable tragedy, and it's just so sudden. From a football perspective, to give you an idea, and obviously a lot of Buckeye fans that are Browns fans, and that crosses over quite a bit. In the 2017 Michigan game, Ohio State was 9 of 15 for 126 yards passing and 1 touchdown as a team, and Dwayne was 6 of 7 in relief in that game for 97 yards. In the 2018 Michigan game that Dwayne played in, Dwayne was 20 of 31 for 396 and 6 touchdowns. That's 1 year. That's the difference from previous line of thinking, offensive talent, skill, all of it. 1 year later, 391, 125 as a team, and he was responsible for 97 of it in a little more than a quarter of play. Came in relief of J.T. Barrett in that game. Yeah. Made 2 throws down the sideline that were in the size of a credit card. And the next year, that's what it did. And he lifted that, man. I mean, he lifted that whole thing. I think maybe, we're so quick to move off of things now, and the next and the next and the next. And his time at Ohio State was so short. But I think you can make a real argument that that one season changed the course of Ohio State football for the better, and changed their identity entirely, and allowed for what has come, which is now they're as prolific as any offense in the country. The quarterbacks they're recruiting now, it had been since Art Schlichter that Ohio State had a first-round quarterback. Let's play a guess the stats with you guys. Before Dwayne Haskins, who was the last Big Ten quarterback to be a first-round pick? Big Ten quarterback to be a first-round pick. Haskins was a first-round pick in 2019, after the 2018 season. Who was the previous Big Ten quarterback? Previous Ohio State was Art Schlichter. He was picked, I think, fourth, fifth by the Colts in like 81, 82. So that was the previous Ohio State quarterback. But who was the previous Big Ten quarterback to be a first-round pick?
Gerbach? Gerbach, I feel like, wasn't a first-round pick, though.
No.
And Greasy wasn't either.
No.
I have no idea.
Drew Henson.
Breeze?
Kerry Collins.
Kerry Collins, Penn State.
1995.
5th overall, right?
1995 to Carolina. Yeah. Breeze was like the first pick of the second round.
He was, I knew he was a second round.
But it was Kerry Collins. And so
I should have said Jeff George.
You should have. That would have been the most logical. He went number 1 overall. Yeah. But there was you would have thought that there would have been somebody in between, but there wasn't. So not only does he change, you can make a very strong argument from a football perspective that if he's not at Ohio State in 2018, that Ryan Day might not be the coach at Ohio State. They absolutely don't get Justin Fields, because the only reason Fields is there is because Haskins threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. It's the only way he was there. And they don't have C.J. Stroud. Quinn Ewers doesn't come there, albeit short, but they still got him. All of that is because of Haskins. They had never recruited quarterbacks like that before. They were always recruiting dual-threat quarterbacks. And if Haskins wasn't great, Urban very easily would have went the other way and gone dual-threat and just stayed in that world, which is the world he was most comfortable.
And now they're
this allowed for the transition to a pro-style quarterback.
They're going to have 3 straight first-round picks.
Now they'll have 3 straight first-round picks at quarterback.
Probably, and
it'll
probably go on for a while.
Right. Now, and I think it also is the same is true of what has happened at receiver. They are recruiting now. He had good receivers. He had Paris Campbell. He had Terry McLaurin on those teams, but those guys were not number 1 recruit in the country guys. No. They've been really good pros. Terry McLaurin's been a great pro.
He was a 4th round.
But he was a 4th round pick. He was not Garrett Wilson. He was not the type of player Emeka Ibuka. He's not those type of kids that they have on the roster now, number 1 receivers in the country. Those kids were not coming to Ohio State. And if Haskins doesn't have that year, I don't know if they ever do, because he is the catalyst for what's come. It's a remarkable legacy in a year. It truly is a remarkable legacy in a year. And it's just crushing. It's crushing. And you feel for a lot of people that were far closer to him, but his impact is one that will be there for a long time. I know Ryan Day spoke this morning down in Columbus, and he was saying that they would that they're going to honor him at the spring game, and they're trying to figure out what to do going forward. But tough day to say the least. If you're buying or selling a home with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, they're going to have a winning strategy for you. If you plan to make a move this season, they're going to have you covered at Howard Hanna. Every day is game day. Visit howardhanna.com/go Browns today for more. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Bath Authority can give you the bathroom of your dreams, and they can transform it into a custom bath. It'll feel like a spa for you guys. Trust me, the Bath Authority can make it a reality for you at a fraction of the cost of the competitors. The Bath Authority is Cleveland's premier bath and shower remodeler, expert, factory-trained installers. They have the largest selection of bath projects. They're all made in the United States. You can change your bathroom from outdated to outstanding. Acrylic tubs that insulate and keep the heat in, tub-to-shower conversions, superior products with expert installers. I encourage you to give them a call today at 216-220-8399 or go to thebathauthority.com. Call now for $500 off your next custom bath or shower remodel. That number is 216-220-8399. So we did the golf and such. Anything else jump out for you this weekend? Do you have any other attention getters, as Buford T. Justice would say?
Yeah. So an interesting experience, and one that we had front row seats to. So on Saturday, my daughter had a bat mitzvah. To go to. So she was out. So it was like Bryce was the only child. So we
the
go
golden
out.
child.
Yeah, that's right. So we went out to a very nice restaurant on the east side. We gave him his choice. He picked it. Now let's also remember, he only is ordering noodles with olive oil. So he does tend to lean into an Italian place that he wants them to be on top
Someone
of
who knows his noodles. He's probably a noodle connoisseur at this point.
I mean,
he'd have to be the world's foremost.
Nobody has had, I would venture to say, more sampled your pasta with olive oil at more places than the Boots. So he should be. He is a connoisseur, and he does. He has rankings. Like
he has rankings.
Rank him. Oh yeah, he's got rankings.
I was just gonna say, should he be one bite? Everybody knows the rules for that.
I mean,
I think
it is a
should.
pretty
I
good
would be
measure.
interested.
Yeah, I'll pitch him on that.
I would like to see those, even if they're just private for us. I would like to see his review of them. Yeah, write that down, because I would be very interested in his review.
Important.
It's very important, critical.
It's underrated.
I would really be interested in him. Yeah, giving a breakdown of
noodle reviews.
Yeah, sure. I like a noodle review.
Yeah.
I like that.
So we go out and we're at a high top restaurant, in the bar area, and we're sitting. There are three of us, so one side is open. Now, it just so happens that side that is open is looking at another table and a few more tables along the wall. Well,
all right, I see your diagram. You're diagramming it.
At the table that we're looking at.
Where are you seated, and where is everybody seated? You have X's around the table.
Yeah, So we are seated, X's around the table. So I would be here.
You're at the head,
Kayla's there,
as it were. Yeah.
Bryce there, looking with straight view of this table that's against the wall here.
Okay.
So Boods wanted to know if I did the story. He doesn't have the day off. He has the day off today, so he wanted to dial in.
Yeah, like, so now he can hear about the noodle reviews that we want.
Yeah, we want it all.
So Z is facing the table.
Yeah. So
you are flanked by Miss K.
To my left, Bryce to the right.
Yeah.
So above this table, there was a TV, and it was playing a UFC prelim pay-per-view. There's pay-per-view on Saturday night, so it was playing the prelim matches, and Bryce was pretty enthralled by it. It was, he's like, man, this is some pretty. First of all, pretty dangerous. Like, it's a pretty
sure is, buddy.
Because this is, not the WWE. No, it's not. Well, they do very dangerous things in the WWE, and the physicality is very much real. This is a different level of attack. So we're kind of looking this direction anyway. And at the table that I've diagrammed here, there are three couples: two gentlemen at the head, one couple on this side, and then the ladies here and here, as it were, next to the guys who are at the head. So it seems like they're having a great time. These are couples probably my age, a little younger, maybe, but in that mix, I'd put them mid-30s, mid-40s, somewhere in that window. They're having a great time, a blast. At one point, the wife from this side's coming over between the other two girls. They're taking a bunch of pictures together. Everybody's having a great time
of their lives.
Yeah, feels like a great time. All of a sudden, it's not a great time, and you've got the husband and wife that are on this side going in on one girl, and she's going back, and we're talking about, like, to the point now where this is like a public scene. We're storming out, we're coming back, we're calling people names and children, and you're bringing up stuff from 10 years. Neither husband at the end wants any part of what's going on at all. Of
course
they're on their phones.
No husband wants a part of this. Oh, God.
Girl number two, who's not involved in the direct kind of fracas, but is getting, like, shrapnel. You like everybody. You have no standards. That's why you're only, like, intense.
Is girl number two coming at couple?
No, she's kind of like, it begins with her, like, jaw on the floor, like, what is happening right now? Like, so how is this begun?
Is this husband and wife on this side going here?
Yep.
So the man's involved too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big.
Oh, I got
Big.
No, that's I got no time for that.
Big. So
what does he got to be involved for? What's he doing?
So he's coming at her. Her husband, who's the one that's being come at, he's just like trying to stay out of everything.
But
and I said to Kayla, I don't know what I would do. Like at some point, I'd be like,
"Come on, dude. What are you involved in this for?
Just don't talk to
your
let
buddy,
them
sort it out.
And
Same. What do you have to do with
right.
this? Yeah.
But he's hot. This other dude is hot. Like he's stormed off.
Coming, yeah.
He is come back for some more insults. Then he's out again, and she's going back at him. So like I don't know. I couldn't say. And one of the things, which we'll get to in a second, is we don't know what truly happened. But at this point, the other girl that's over here that's kind of getting shoveled for just being like too nice. Like, you're her only friend because you're too nice. You have no standards. And she's just like, her jaw's like, why is this happening? She keeps being like, why is that happening? Husband's on the phone like, this is not happening. But it's becoming like a thing. Like, and I'm locked in. Me and Bryce, like, Kayla's trying to be discreet. Like, we are like locked in. Like, full on.
Sure.
Bryce said at one point he made eye contact with one of them. And he's like, I was like, did you turn away? He's like, absolutely not.
Lean in.
I'm right. We're providing some commentary. It gets to the point now where jaw on the floor is now crying. Like, she's hysterical. These girls are going at it. He's walked off. He's come back. He said something else. Then he goes and he pays the check, and then he comes back for, like, his parting shot, grabs her. They're out. And they, like, walk out through the
husband
the
and wife instigators are out.
I don't know if they're the instigators. I can't say for sure.
They could have taken the first shrapnel.
Yes, it could have been.
I
don't know.
They were a key participant.
Yes.
Two of the three key participants.
Yes. So then they're out. And, like, it is, like, their fingers pointing. There's like, it's a full-on scene. Like, the waitress comes over to try to, like, clear the food away, and there's tears into the food, and so it's crazy. So now they walk out like through the kitchen, like, to get out, and they're out. So then it's all, now everybody's in. It's what just happened. Like, oh my God, what? They're going to the bathroom. Now we see both of these girls are crying. So both of them are crying. Husbands aren't happy. Nobody's happy. I had the great idea. We didn't do this, but this was my idea because Kayla had a martini that was empty. We had a couple glasses of wine. And so I said to Bryce, this would be so awesome if you just walked over to the girl who's crying, hand her the glass of wine. Looks like you could use this while holding the martini glass in your other hand, and just sat down and said, so shoot me straight here, ladies. Like, what happened? And, like, Bryce was into it. Like, I think he was up for it, but we realized we couldn't probably go that far.
No.
But
a single you could have done that. A single you, but without Miss K and B, you could have done that. But no, you can't send the child into that hornet's nest.
Not,
I mean, that
obviously.
would have been so.
But
nice.
it was just like, it was the most stupefying thing that I'd ever seen, and then it kind of like flustered the staff. Everybody was just, it was a whole flustering, because it was like everybody in the restaurant knew that there was a grievance was happening, which was stunning. It was a stunning thing to see.
Were you there when they all left, or did they stay?
So the 4 that stayed behind, they stayed, and they were, like, wanting to get out bad, but they were needing an Uber, and it was, like, I think taking a long time, so they were, like, not having it. I felt very badly. I really want to I'd love a 30 for 30 on it, because I don't really know.
Someone listening was there and knows.
What started it. I don't know what started it, and I just know that I felt like the jaw on the floor first crier felt completely innocent. I felt very badly for her.
I feel badly for the two dudes, too.
Oh, they wanted no part of it. Yeah, no part of it. And it just felt like that's it. Like, that's it. That's the end of it's got to be the end of the friendship. It felt.
Okay, I have a couple questions.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what was the alcohol intoxication level of the parties, as you, a man in your 40s, have a good feel for where that is?
I definitely feel like there was something, but these were very.
It wasn't driven.
But it could have been fueled.
Fueled, but not driven.
No, these were very pointed, coherent comments. Like, it wasn't a sloppy, like, I just don't like it. Was.
So we're early on. We've had a couple.
I feel like we're drinking all night. There's no doubt. But it was, sometimes when you get that kind of adrenaline going, it sobers you up pretty quick. Like, it was, and there was, it was. I mean, I felt like we went to a dinner that would have been on, like, The Real Housewives.
Yeah.
But we just got to, like, sit there for free and just watch it.
What was Miss K's enjoyment?
She's just sad. She's sad for the
like,
friends that are, like, fighting, and why are they fighting? And it makes me sad. Why can't we all just.
An angel.
Yeah, she was just. And Bryce and I are just loving it. And I was sad that there was conflict, but, like, if the conflict was going to happen in a vacuum, I'm happy that I was there.
I think it's stunning that the two men at the head of the table who remained on the phones didn't de-escalate. Was there ever an attempt to de-escalate?
Yeah. There was one like, dude, come on. Like there was one.
Did he say come on to the other dude?
Yes,
He did.
Kind of to both of them. Like come
okay,
on.
enough.
Enough.
Like, what are we doing?
But it was gone. And that's the thing. And I was saying to Bryce, like, because he said, well, what if he said, stops talking like that to my wife or else?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, then what's or else? Like,
Right,
are we like
prepared for the or else?
But are we really fighting? Like we're grown-ups. Like, are we fighting? Like, what's that?
Well,
gonna
right,
do?
but you know that once you say that, you have to be prepared for the or else.
Of course.
You can't say it unless you're going to do it.
Right.
You're in at that point. I would say my read on this is that none of these people have children.
I don't know about that. It felt like it
feels like that's.
No.
It feels like running that hot with that many people. I don't know that I don't have the energy for that anymore. Well, I never would have.
But it could have been, though. It could have been, so just on the opposite side, it could have been, yeah, I am out. This is my night away from the kids. We're going to let loose. And then things just got off the rails.
I just
bit.
don't
I think
know
they
that,
have children.
Are you that passionate about anything once that isn't your children once you have the children?
It felt like there was some deep-seated issues because one of the points it was like you're bringing up something from 10 years ago. So like I think there was some real.
So
some
probably
history.
someone has reconciled. My hunch is someone is reconciled.
The nice one may have, as we'll call her in this one, the innocent.
The innocent, yeah. There's been a reconciliation.
Yeah.
And hey, we used to be. Let's get the band back together. Maybe. No.
I don't know. It was a pretty It felt like there was a real severing of the cord. It's hard. I mean, that's a pretty
It's
to
very
feel
public.
that strongly and then to feel that strongly in public are two separate things.
There are a few things in life that I despise more than public outburst.
Public scenes, yeah.
It makes my skin crawl. Like I cannot. Like if I've never. There's not on one hand can I count the amount of times that I've been involved with anything like that.
Where you were involved?
I've never been involved ever.
No, nothing like that.
But
I've seen some public outbursts.
Even like
in my
if I could
circle
see
that I
it
didn't
start,
no.
if I was in a circle and it was starting to happen, I'm out. Like I'm out. I'm done. I'm not. You're on your own, kid. It's not for me, and we won't be having dinner anytime soon.
I think it was stupid. I think there was a lot of stupid people were stunned. Like I think that they were.
Right. Someone was there and knows.
I'm getting in the middle and I'm going enough. We are
That's
in a
it.
public place.
Yeah, settle this outside. You want to sell this?
Do whatever
That's
airing
it.
of the grievances.
But not anymore.
But
Not here.
This is not.
This ain't
gonna
happen
continue
here.
This way.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you have the gravity that the people would listen.
Yeah.
Like if you stood up and were like, "Whoa, that's it," I feel like they'd be like, "Okay, yeah, Gibby's right." Like
It takes a lot to get me angry.
Yeah,
But
that's it.
it's
you
a
get me
hard
there.
situation though, because I understand
Yeah.
because it did feel like as just an observer that if like one of the two non-agitated guys were just gave an or else, I felt like that dude was ready for or else. Like he almost wanted or. Like,
yeah, but my hunch is neither of those other two guys are the size of Gibby.
Well, no.
Yeah.
They were
So
not.
then it's done.
Yeah.
So the aggressor was probably also the most. Was he the most formidable?
I felt even.
Or all even.
Felt even.
Yeah.
He certainly was the most amped.
I just think it's wild for a dude to be in the mix on that. Like when it's one thing if it would have been if it were three other dudes and he was in the mix, but like the one dude going at one woman seems so strange.
Well,
to
it
me
was
with
his wife.
Well, him and his significant other going at one woman seems like why
and
do
she
you
was
have to
coming
be
back
involved?
At the wife. I think he was trying to maybe he was trying to defend his. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
stay
know.
out
It's
of
just-
it. Like
yeah.
this.
You got
don't need to be involved.
Guys don't listen. I mean, look at the Oscars.
Yeah, I guess
He wasn't involved at first. He was
So
laughing.
these guys should be banned for 10 years from the restaurant, all of them.
No, it didn't escalate that much. No ban.
but just like Will Smith, gone for 10 years from the Academy.
Which was a pretty strong.
Get them out. 10
The
years
fact that
out
a
of
lot
the
of
restaurant.
the people that really thought it was fake. I mean, it's clearly. I hope we're all in agreement that it is not. I mean, his apology the next day was.
I think it took about 2 seconds of once you saw the feed like from Australia.
Yeah, there are people the next morning that were still convinced it was a work.
Then they're dumb.
Well, I wasn't. I was
pretty clear that it was not a work in any way. We did have some news on Friday before this. And by the way, I'm certain that somebody out there listening was either there.
I keep refreshing to see if
someone
might
was
have
either
been
somebody
there.
knows what happened. That is too specific of a circumstance. Somebody knows what happened, and I would love to get to the bottom of it.
Well, I would too, and I hope that there's look, as we talked about earlier, like we got to just love our peeps, man.
Get along, man.
Love.
Life's
Hugs
too
and
short
love.
for nonsense.
Hugs and love.
We will go over some of the big moves we made on Friday, including a new quarterback in the room. We'll get into that coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Gambling without setting limits on how much you're going to wager or how long you'll play is like a football team going into a game without a game plan. It's probably going to end up in a loss, so always set limits before you bet. Get more tips like this at keepitfunohio.com. It appears that it's possible that we have someone who knows. Yeah. BC tweeting us, I know the whole story. My buddy got up from the table, called me during the fight. I mean, DMs are open. I want to hear what this is.
Yeah, like Boots is waiting. He's waiting on it. It's information that a 12-year-old craves.
Yeah, I want to know. I'd love to know, BC. Let us know. Yeah. What we have, and we need to get to the bottom of this, and then we won't share on air.
No, of course not.
Protect the innocent if there are any.
I'm not so sure about that whole innocent thing.
Right.
I just want hugs and love, man. Hugs and love.
That's it. We had a busy Friday. This was normally not a 3:05 though. This was more into the 4 or 5 o'clock hour.
4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Joshua Dobbs coming in at the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dude who was a really good player at Tennessee. He's been at Pittsburgh for a while. Brilliant guy. Aerospace engineering major at Tennessee. Was at NASA for not Nassau. That's in the Bahamas. NASA.
You were in NASA.
I was in Nassau. Sometimes wish I still were, especially when it's 48 and rainy, dealing with grapple on the lacrosse field. And worked at NASA Space Launch. I can't wait to have him on. That'd be great.
It's gonna be fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was very good to see that. So you now have 4 quarterbacks under. Well, you do.
Yeah.
4 quarterbacks under contract, and then Schefter with this one. The Browns bringing back Ronnie Harrison on a. Interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah. We floated it out as a possibility. Just maybe it was possible that such a thing might occur, and sure enough. It did occur.
It sure did.
And now he's back, and so now your safety room is exactly what it was a year ago, in that you've got Grant and John Johnson III, Ronnie back on a 1-year deal, and I think going to be a very motivated Ronnie Harrison, which will be good. And then you're going to have Rich LeCount, your draft pick out of Georgia a year ago. So that's good. There's your dime package that, I know that Joe Woods and Jeff Howard, the star of this week's Building the Browns, they love that dime package, and so getting Ronnie back certainly gives them that flexibility. And I think that, Ronnie's got a chance to recapture what he had in 2020 when I think he was a very good player for the Cleveland Browns, and hopefully he can get back there. And this is a good fit and an opportunity for him in a defense that suits his skills very well to have a big 1 year for the Browns here in 2022.
I mean, I just love that idea. I think he's got a ton of potential. I love him coming back. I love the consistency. I love not having to start from scratch at the position. I think that was absolutely wonderful to see that news over the weekend. And then Mike Garafolo will host Arizona State quarterback Chase Lucas for a visit this week.
Chase Lucas is the cornerback from Arizona State who was in the Shrine Bowl on Jeff Howard's team on his defense, who at the end of this week's Building the Browns, when they take that picture, and Jeff Howard wanted to take a picture with all the guys on the D, and Chase Lucas is the one who goes, "Future Browns."
Oh, really?
So I got a big kick out of that.
Oh,
so
maybe
cool. maybe he will be.
Maybe he will be.
Maybe.
We are inching closer to that, to the draft. It's
17 days,
closer.
brother.
Yeah, it's interesting without the momentum that you don't. Not that I'm complaining, but the momentum that you felt. Picking at 13, you'd be if the trade hadn't happened, we would be knee deep in which receiver, where is it going to land, those type of things. And now it's pretty wide open. Our
first round pick for the next 3 years is Deshaun Watson.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah,
not bad.
You take it. And the and then in the second round is so much of just we're in a position with the roster as deep as it is. Now we certainly still have positions of need, but there is a lot of talent still out there in free agency, as we educated you on last week with the Graybeards.
But
this is a Venetian. It's a Venetian loafer.
It is. Yeah, there's no lace.
It's a Venetian loafer.
Yeah. Italian leather, no doubt.
It's look at that. He's got a nice cuff. Gosh. I still can't get over that dog he had in here.
Goodness gracious.
There's a guy walking around here with a monk strap with no socks, which I thought was a bold look.
Wow.
On a rainy
day.
Monday.
Sure.
I thought that was pretty strong to see. You going to figure out what that loafer is?
Yeah.
Has he already texted us?
I don't know. I did get it.
Yes.
Of
course.
Oh, that's right. Exactly.
You knew it. You knew the company ended in I.
Exactly.
That's all you knew. You didn't know anything else. It ended with an I or an A. That's the only way it was going to go on that front. It's a gorgeous Venetian loafer. He
It
likes
is.
a white sole, too. He's a big
does.
white sole guy.
I do too.
I do, too. The only thing with the white sole is, and a man of his means, it's not an issue, but the only problem with the white sole is it's an easy side scuff in these parts.
You can, but if it's a proper white sole, you can still do some real nice work on that post.
Yeah.
And get that scuff right out.
You can use
You buff it.
the Tide stuff that'll happen
Yeah.
on sometimes
With
on
a- and then
the
you-
rubber that'll
You
work.
buff it with a fine chamois.
Yeah, you could do that, but that's the only thing around here you run into that. Like
Yeah, sure,
on a day
sure,
like
sure.
today,
Sure.
easy scuffing.
You got to be
can take
very
place.
careful. Got to be real.
Yeah. It's an incredible footwear lineup the man has. It really is. All right, do you want to do the 4-round mock, or do you want to go around the league coming up next, Gibby? How do you feel? You
However
pick
you
your
wanna do
adventure.
it.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, I love those books growing up. Little Choose Your Own Adventure.
Sure.
They were
I love Choose Your Own Adventure.
great
Yeah.
books.
I really figured out how to master the football game.
You remember the guy? You remember the Bear Grylls?
Yeah, Bear Grylls, sure.
Remember Bear Grylls?
Yeah.
Like the
Don't.
guy
Out
they
in
throw him
nature?
into the nature
Yeah.
and he would try and survive, and it was. Remember that guy?
Oh,
He was the
Yes.
Australian guy.
I sure
Yep.
do.
Or no, not Australian. He's English. But he has a series on Netflix where you can choose his own adventure. So it goes to a point, and you can either build a fire or like go hunt, and then you send him on the path, and obviously he plays out both. But like the decisions are made based on you. Your kids would love it.
That sounds fun.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. The only thing is, I mean, I can't
enjoy
imagine
that
like the
style
production of it.
situation. Yeah.
The production can't be easy. Like, hey, we have to
You have to film every
play
scenario.
out every scenario.
That's right.
Take a long time. Saying no wonder there's only 5 or 6 episodes. I loved him until he did one in Montana, and at that point there was already rumors that he was like he'd go on these things and like he would go stay at the Ritz, and then he would like paratroop in and then do the thing and then go back to the hotel, which I don't blame him. Like
As he
what do you
should.
want? It's what
He was the
should. He's living
franchise.
He's the franchise. But he did one in Montana, and the geography made no stinking sense. Like it was very clearly over like a 300-mile space that he was
Swath
acting
of
like it
land.
was all the same place. It didn't make
Can't
any
fool
sense.
you.
No, not gonna fool me in any way, shape, or form. All right, we will go around the league. We got a four round mock to take a look at. We will get into that coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. my God. Oh, boy. If you're thinking about upgrading your enterprise operating system, but you can't afford the downtime and disruption that goes with a major overhaul, I have an answer for you. My friends at EOX Vantage, they're data scientists. They're also business operations experts, guys. Your EOX Vantage team does not take a rip and replace approach to improving your operating system. Not at all. In fact, instead, they help you to build onto what you already have so you make the best use of your investment, both old and new. So if you're fearing your employees will stress out over your new systems, EOX Vantage is going to ensure that people can easily adapt their new workflows at a comfortable workplace. You can start out by making easily manageable changes and then add on more when the time is right. You can read how other business owners have overhauled their systems without overwhelming their people at EOXVantage.com. It's from Chad Reuter. He's got a 4-round mock. This gets in the woods with me, and when you're talking about how far we get into this thing. So he's got us going, let's just do the position, because I think it would be pretty crazy unless you've done the scouting analysis on Khalil Shakir, the wide receiver out of Boise State.
I can't say that I have, but I do have a thought here.
Please. I want all of your thoughts. We could have several of your thoughts if you'd like.
We'll go through this and change it around here.
All right, so he's got us going D tackle at 44, Travis Jones out of Connecticut. He's got us – go ahead.
Okay. Based on what's available on the board here,
all right,
I would be taking Christian Watson, who goes pick 51.
North Dakota State
wide receiver. Big, vertical, stud. So I change our round 2 pick, and I go Christian Watson.
I feel like that guy is all over the place. I've seen him
because he's going in the
rounds.
first round.
I've seen him toward the end of the second. I find it hard to believe he will be there at 44.
So do I, but I'm dealing
according to this.
But if he is,
I think there's going to be a run on receivers.
Yeah.
I hate the pick that he has he's got the Steelers getting David Ojabo, who I think could be just.
I don't want that.
I don't like that at all.
No.
Him opposite T.J. Watt for a long time. All right, so that's second round. Third round.
He's got us going edge, Kingsley, and Enagbare.
Kingsley Enagbare. Yeah, from South Carolina.
Love that name.
He absolutely is somebody that would be on the radar, would be in the mix at this point. I don't think there's any doubt about it. I like that pick. He's somebody that Dane's got kind of in this second, third round area. So that pick makes a lot of sense to me. So that one I would let that one ride. I like that pick.
Do you think I made a mistake not nicknaming Bootsy Kingsley?
Yes.
No,
I think Bootsy.
I think you did just fine.
I mean, Bootsy fits him so great.
You don't want to give him too much power.
Kingsley's too much.
I feel like for Beamsy, Kingsley might have helped to elevate him up a little bit.
He is. Well, I'll tell you. We'll save that for off air because we got a lot of stuff. All right, Verone McKinley, safety out of Oregon in the third round at number 99.
So maybe I think with Ronnie back, I don't know that you're using a third round pick on a guy that would be likely your fourth safety and would be competing with Richard LeCounte for that role. So here, this is where I could see like a defensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns. I could see a defensive tackle going with that compensatory selection down there. I could also see that being a tight end, because I do think you're going to want one more tight end in that room.
Yep.
So I could see a tight end there. Again, you can never have enough corners. I could see that being another receiver. So guys that would still be on the board at that point that fit kind of what we're talking about. Justin Ross, the receiver from Clemson, is on his board.
I like
at
the
this
look
point.
of him. Now, if you remember, he was a kid who sat out 2 years ago. He had was it a neck issue? I want to say it was a neck. He was a superstar as a freshman. They won the national title. He was a super-duper star as a freshman.
Okay.
And then sat out, and then last year was his third year, and he played about half the year.
Yeah.
It was like a life-threatening
Yes,
condition.
it was. That's correct.
Issue.
And they were concerned about it. They got through it, but he didn't play the full season last year, but he was a 5-star super-duper prospect. Pretty sure he came in with Trevor Lawrence.
So I could see Justin Ross would be somebody that makes sense as another receiver to kind of overhaul this receiving core there. The kid from Cincinnati, Alec Pierce, is a name that I've seen kind of in this range, and you're probably more familiar with his game than I am, but I know he's 6'3", good size. So I could see 2 receivers, an edge, and then I think you'd get a defensive tackle. But I think you're going to get a defensive tackle in here somewhere. I don't know if there's somebody in the second round that they think is that valuable as a pass rusher. I don't think that we have an issue with teams that say, you know what, we think the strength or the weakness of your defense is the interior defense, so we're going to run the ball up the middle quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think we'd be like, great.
Fine. Go right ahead.
Do it. Yeah.
We wish you the best of luck.
You're not going to score enough doing that against us.
No, not at all. In terms of his other first-round picks, you're right, Gibbe. I believe we did have this. Lots of quarterbacks in here. He's got 5 in this mock. He's got the Lions taking Malik Willis number 2 overall. This is a shocking mock out of Chad Reuter. It's pretty wild. He's got Seattle trading with the Jets, moving up from 9 to 4 to select Matt Corral. I just don't see any scenario where they would do that. At 5, the Saints trading up with the Giants select Kenny. So he's got 3 quarterbacks in the first 5 picks.
Yeah, he's the first one.
Wow. Leaves no Carolina pick at number 6. He's got the Steelers trading with Minnesota to take Desmond Ridder, the quarterback out of Cincinnati, whose stock has been rising. And then he has Sam Howell going 26 to the Titans. I think Howell in the right spot. I think we had Renner on, and he liked him too. And I think Howell was a guy that a year ago, when they had all the running back talent and the receiver talent in North Carolina, was the guy that everybody thought would be in the mix for number 1 overall. He's got good arm talent. The body probably isn't great, but his arm talent is good, man. He makes a lot of good throws. So I think somebody could get. I wouldn't like it for Tennessee because I think I don't need more talent in the AFC, but not that he's a game changer or anything. But would be a perfect spot for him, behind Tannehill for a couple years and kind of waiting his turn. I think that would be a good fit for him if he went there.
Yeah.
At receiver, he's got Garrett Wilson going 11 to Washington. At 14, he's got Kansas City trading up to pick Jamison Williams from Alabama. The only thing about that is, I guess you just have to make sure they need a receiver now. They couldn't really. They would need one pretty quickly. Kansas City, they can't.
They need one in the first round. So does Green Bay.
But if Wilson is going to be ready by September? I mean, he's running around now, so maybe.
Jamison Williams.
Jamison Williams. I'm sorry, Jamison Williams. Yeah.
Did he get hurt in the championship game?
Yeah.
They probably
the semifinal.
They probably feel like they could
it was
get
the semifinal.
So
halfway
September?
through it.
Yeah, I mean, Odell came back quick for us. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty quickly. So, and he's younger, so maybe. But I mean, Jameson Williams would be exactly what they.
So
need.
there are, and tell me what you think of this. The name that I've started to hear a ton with Jamison Williams, which makes me think that maybe he might be certainly somebody you'd love to add to your stable and would be a fit for us, but I just don't see how it's feasible for us, is peak Deshaun Jackson.
I don't think he's that fast.
Okay.
Because, I mean, unless I'm misremembering Deshaun Jackson, to me, peak Deshaun Jackson was the fastest player in football. He was almost similar to like Tyreek Hill. Not quite that, but close.
He was
that type of blaze.
He was the most dangerous guy in the league.
Yeah. I don't think Williams has that type of speed, but I think he's close.
Okay.
I think he's probably a better all-around receiver than Deshaun was, in terms of route running and they loved him. They loved him at Ohio State. Loved him. They thought he'd be a superstar. It was just, they had 2 other first-rounders.
Couldn't get on the field.
So
which is unbelievable.
Which is crazy. They got Drake London going to the Jets at 15. Chris Olave, this is a home run, going to the Packers at 22. Just wish that for him, that he could go there. Treylon Burks to the Cardinals at 23. Kyle Hamilton filing all the way of 18, the Notre Dame safety, to the Eagles. So that is the way that breaks on that side of things. Elk & Elk Serious Lawyers, serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk & Elk is a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. As we go around the league at large, we mentioned our guys, but then also getting some news. The Broncos, Texans, Jaguars, Raiders, Vikings, Buccaneers begin off-season today. Off and running.
New coaches.
Oh, that's right. That's all of those, sure. Oh, yeah, Bucks.
It's weird when
that happened when I was off.
I
forget that one, that there was a coaching change there. We'll start next Tuesday with ours on April 19th. What is for the people? What is because people are going to be excited to see everybody out there. What is next Tuesday? What is this portion of the off season? Is what
workouts?
That's it. You're not out there.
No.
Right. There's
you have the 10. Now. You get those 10 OTAs that will be late May into early June that lead right up. So you'll have 3, 3, 4. So 3 weeks of those, 10 total OTAs that lead into the week that will be the mandatory minicamp, which is I think the second week of June, or in the teens in that area. So that's when you can actually get on the field, that 4-week period.
And then Calais Campbell to the Ravens on a 2-year deal.
Makes sense. I mean, makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
mountain of a man.
What did you? I know that you were into the Masters all weekend long. How about what? Is it possible that the NBA kind of crushed this thing with this 7, 8, 9, 10 tournament thing? We're in it now, so I'm paying attention to it.
First
is
of all,
everybody aware of what's going to happen?
To the Cavaliers and everybody in that organization. Sure. It's awesome that
it is.
We're talking playoffs.
They've
but I don't know
let
what
them know.
any of it means.
First time since '98 without LeBron.
Yeah.
Like Fratello, Sean Kemp.
So,
by the way, he's sitting at home today. Cheers.
Fratello living his best life.
No,
Kemp. LeBron. Oh, of course it was.
Congratulations.
A shot at LeBron.
Good season.
All right. So what is happening?
All right. And I'll be candid with you. I didn't know either because I've never cared for mattered that a team that was in it.
So no longer the 8 seed doesn't just play the 1.
No. So 1 through 6 are slotted. Okay. 7 hosts 8.
Okay.
The winner of that is the 7 seed. The loser of that plays the winner of 9, 10. 9 and 10 play. The winner of that plays the loser of 7, 8 for the 8 seed.
Okay.
So the Cavaliers, one game. It's be like an NCAA tournament. So on Tuesday, the Cavaliers will play the Nets in Brooklyn because the Cavaliers lost to the Nets on Friday. So the Nets got the 7. So all weekend long, the teams were tanking over the weekend to avoid playing the Nets. Like Milwaukee put a G League roster out against us on Sunday because, well, I would rather play Chicago and be the 3. So the Celtics, who actually all they had to do was lose, and they would have been the 3 seed, the Celtics actually won. And so now the Celtics are the 2. They would have to play the Nets because it's long odds that you're going to go into Brooklyn
and who's the
win.
1?
The 1 is Miami.
Okay.
So if Brooklyn will be favored to beat the Cavs on Tuesday.
Yep.
Once that happens, Brooklyn would be locked into a series with Boston. The Cavaliers would then host.
Who's good but lost their center, right?
Correct, Robert Williams. So the Cavs would then host the winner of Atlanta or Charlotte Friday night here to get into the 8 seed.
By the way, downtown
which will be
Friday night.
Raucous.
Guardians home opener at 7:10.
Is it really?
And Cavs play-in game potential.
Sounds like a zoo.
The Guardians open Friday?
Friday night, not Friday afternoon.
Oh,
Friday night, 7:10 against the San Francisco Giants.
We can't spread those out. Oh, that's nice traditional matchup for opening day.
Yeah.
60 degrees is the high on Friday. At night, that's going to be chilly.
Yeah.
It's getting colder because Saturday's a low of 36.
Of course it is.
What is the deal, bro?
Sucks.
This is looking out. All right, a week. Oh, this Wednesday will be 72, but raining. A week from Wednesday is currently slated to be a high of 47 after back-to-back days of rain on Monday and Tuesday with 46 and like. We're going to be into May before we can do anything. What is going on?
I don't know that this is the latest that I've
had it.
This is the latest that clearly.
I've had it.
This is the latest that I've usually at least have taken the boys to, like last year we played golf at the end of March a lot.
Yeah. Yes.
Like I took the boys out.
That's right.
It's no chance. There was the one weekend in March, like the one weekend.
I played that one Saturday.
NCAA tournament weekend.
Yeah, that was it.
But I mean, it was.
That was it. It was the
and
one
then it
day.
Snowed the next Sunday.
Yeah. Right.
We played golf on
yeah,
Saturday.
you were in
and
Atlanta,
it snowed on
and
Sunday.
it snowed.
And it snowed. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. It was
By
like,
the way,
that's it.
I feel like the only change I would make to this NBA thing, top 5 are guaranteed. Because if you win a play-in game, I feel like you should be in. You shouldn't have to win again. Like, if the 2 teams win, like you should seed them 6.
I don't know
9,
that 6 would
7,
change it though,
8.
would it?
And if 6, 7 win, then they're both in, and then the 8.
So they all play,
and then the 2 losers play for 1 spot.
The season needs to matter though, like.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is
I don't think it does
because a 6 seed could go on a 3-game losing streak and be out.
Yeah,
like
but
you're
it
sort of
hasn't.
6th best.
When has the regular season hasn't mattered in I don't know how long in the NBA?
Well, I'm telling. What's crazy here though is like all of these 4 teams are separated by by a game.
Correct.
Like it's 4 teams separated by a game. So this is, I mean, the atmosphere that you're going to get Friday I don't know if Brooklyn has atmosphere or not, but wherever Atlanta and Charlotte playing, like that atmosphere is going to be electric.
Should be.
An
yeah.
NBA one-off, it's like a Game 7.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's like a tournament game. I mean, it's going to be unbelievable in a one-game moment. And finally, in the sports and entertainment world, Curb returning for season 12.
Yeah, and I said, let's go, and somebody was
Some
not
guy took a
happy.
shot
Yeah,
at
took
you
a
guys.
shot at Curb.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it took a shot at both of you and Curb.
Fine. Listen, if you're somebody who's taking a shot at Curb, then I would be like the woman yelling at the woman at the bar.
It's unlikely that
I'd
we'll
be
be
that
friends.
person.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna break bread. I'm not breaking bread with somebody who doesn't like Curb.
You're
That's
off.
the point.
You're off the transformative turkey list.
Yeah, you're not having no transformative. That's not happening. No
Yeah.
chance. The most recent episode of Winning Time last night.
So I'm through 2 episodes now. I enjoyed the second episode more than the first.
It got better, yeah, right. Like it definitely got better. The most recent episode though had so Magic Johnson is going around shopping sneakers. Now I don't know if this is true or not. I have no idea, but he's trying to get a sneaker endorsement. Well, people are pitching him, right? So he has sit-down meetings with Adidas and Nike. Adidas and Converse, and they're going to compensate him. So Adidas, it's $70,000 or $80,000 a year for him to do Adidas. Nike started out at 80. They found out that Larry Bird got 90, so he said, "I want 100." Converse is like, "Fine, we'll do it." In between, a guy walks up to him by the name of Phil Knight, and he goes, he's like, "Well, what do you have to offer?" And you can tell like he's intrigued by it. Now, again, I don't know what of this is real and what's dramatized.
So he just recently talked about how he was offered stock and turned it down, and that was the dumbest thing he ever did.
Well, then it's true. So the story plays out. Phil Knight's sitting there. He goes, Magic says he's intrigued by the philosophy. Like Nike's whole thing, of course, was built on lighter shoes at that time. Him and Bill Bowerman, they built the Waffle Racer and all of that, and it was lighter shoes, lighter. And so this was the pitch to Magic, and Magic is intrigued by it. And Phil Knight says, "I want you to wear these." And he pulls out a pair of, they're the shoes that the kids are wearing now, like the Nike Blazers.
The Blazers, yep.
Yeah, my son has a pair. And they have, so they were Nike Blazers, and they had Magic across the back. And he goes, "These are the Nike Magics." And Magic looks at it. You can tell he's like intrigued by it, right? And he goes, "Well, what are you offering?" And Phil Knight says, $1. But 100,000 stock options. 100,000 shares. So Magic goes back to the Converse deal. He gets some advice, and he's meeting with the Converse guys, and he goes, "Man, why don't we put my name on it? Why don't we make this the Magic?" And it was like a Converse standard entry shoe. And they pushed back on it because you could tell, like, they're like, "Okay, yeah, sure. I'm sure you know nothing," right? So the Nike stock at the time was worth 84 cents a share. So they flash on screen the value of that stock now, $5.2 billion for what Nike offered him in 1979 and 80, $5.2 billion. But it's also one of the great sliding door moments because is Nike stock worth $5.2 billion? Because would Michael have gone to Nike if there were already an Air Magic? Maybe not, because he was conflicted anyway. He wanted to wear Adidas. He was an Adidas kid. He wanted to wear Adidas.
That was in the ESPN special.
Right. He was going to be an Adidas kid, and Nike pitched him as the Air Jordan. Is Nike worth $5.2 billion if it's the Air Magic? I mean, Magic was ultra popular.
And he was in L.A.
He was
in
LA.
Winning championships immediately.
Right, but Jordan was transformative. Like, if he's in Adidas, I mean, you think that the marketing would have been similar.
Yeah.
But was the market ready for it like it was when Jordan hit? We were ready for Jordan because Magic and Bird had already built it to that point. I mean, it was a fascinating.
That is a fascinating what if. And it's also like, remember, Madden was offered to buy shares in EA, and he turned it down. And of course, turns out that would have been a lucrative thing for him as well.
Yeah, but they made it right. EA made it right, but I don't think Magic ever wore Nike again. Like, I don't know if he wears them now, but like, he was always Converse all the way through.
The last episode I watched, he bought his mom a very nice tub, and she was not happy about it.
Not pleased. No, not pleased.
His pursuit of Cookie is really, I felt like that whole episode was like, that's not what I was watching the show for, to see how he was going to try to really woo Cookie and make her upset with him. And
they clearly are setting up. I think one of the criticisms of the show early is they very clearly are setting up the payoff at, it starts with his HIV thing and his announcement. And so that she is front and center for all that.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to build that backstory of her because up until the HIV thing, nobody had any clue that he was dating anybody.
Yeah.
Or with anybody.
Sure.
You know? So like she became front and center then. So I think they're trying to backlog that to get to that point.
Gotcha.
So, but I think it's a fair critique. Jerry Buss that's the franchise.
That's all I want.
That's
I want.
That's all anybody wants.
All his scenes.
It's all of those.
And like Jerry West getting offered the keys to the castle and him being like, I'm out.
Yeah.
The portrayal of Jerry West, I feel like
it does even out as it goes along. Episode 2 is a really tough one for West. All right, let's do the so much more to come. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Rumpke Waste Recycling, family owned and operated. Whether you join them as a customer or as an employee, you become part of the family. Visit rumpke.com to learn more. Did you get you watch a pitch of baseball this weekend, boys? So the Indians scored 17. I'm sorry, the Guardians. God, this is going to be brutal.
You're fine.
Stephen
Kwan. Cardinals opening day on Thursday. It was a cool moment with Pujols back.
Oh, that's nice.
It was awesome.
That's cool. That's very good. Yeah, I like it. All right, we're back tomorrow with more fun. The next level is coming up next. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.